Hello and welcome back to You Like It, We Don't. I'm one of your three hosts, Maeve.
I'm Erbia.
And I'm Jen. And welcome back to our gaming news segment. We have got a lot of announcements to make. There's going to be a great lineup in September this year. So the first one we can announce is Dragon Quest XI is coming out September 4th. I don't know this game that much, but
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
I have had a very sad childhood, apparently.
You have.
The Switch version will not be released this year, and the 3DS version released in Japan will not release in the West, but on PS4 and Steam it will be released September 4th.
Yeah, September 4th. So any Dragon Quest fans out there, look forward. September is coming. Winter is coming.
Oma coming.
Oma coming.
It's funny they were made by the HBO.
Oh yeah, most of them. Oma coming. Winter is coming. All right. Our next announcement is Spyro Reignited has been officially announced. Before we had a podcast saying that it was the Treasure Trilogy. But the official name is Spyro Reignited, and it's been officially then announced by Activision, and it's being headed by a game studio called Toys for Bob. Now, I don't know Bob, but if he helps this up.
How come Bob gets it first? By the way, Reignited, is that supposed to be a clever reference to him?
Yeah, Treasure Trilogy was so much better than Spyro Reignited.
True.
I don't understand what the hell's up with that name, but okay, whatever. I'm looking forward to this shit. I love this. I love this franchise.
Another game that comes to us on the 4th of September. Coming to the PS4 on the 7th of September. Spider-Man.
Yes.
Now this one has a nice titillating story.
I'm really looking forward to this. A couple of interesting news about this. Insomniac, the developers of the game, went on record to say that this game will never come out on an Xbox platform. Now,
nor will it have microtransactions.
Yeah, nor will it have microtransactions.
The
now,
Xbox just isn't getting jack.
The reasoning is, and this is what happened, Sony went to Disney and asked Disney if they could make a game IP for them, for one of their Marvel characters, because Disney are interested in reaching out into the gaming section with Marvel.
Couldn't they just do this with Battlefront and give
Star Wars? Remember, Disney doesn't give a shit about Star Wars. But anyway,
give Star Wars to Ninja Theory or something.
Fuck anybody at this point. Anybody.
From Software.
But yeah, so Sony went to Disney and Disney agreed, and then Sony chose Insomniac to be the developer. And they went to Insomniac and they actually said, choose a Marvel license that you want to create. And Insomniac chose Spider-Man. So, basically that's why. If Sony didn't go to Disney, this game would never even be being made. So that's why.
Yeah. Sony? Star Wars!
Yes. Oh my god, imagine that. That would be so fucking cool.
Going to Disney, asking for a Marvel character. Star Wars!
Okay.
All right.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Divinity Original Sin 2 heads to Xbox One and PS4 this August. So, I can't wait for this game. I love the shit out of the original Sin.
Originals. You love that game, the originals.
Yep. Can't wait for Original Sin 2.
Yeah, they haven't specified a day, but they did say this August. So, fuck. August and September, guys. Fucking prepare your wallets for a good ass rating.
If anybody has money in August and September, I just go, you're not a gamer. What are you doing with your life?
Yeah, in September, any gamer, you're only eating 2-minute noodles.
Instant ramen.
Yes. All right, our next news article for the day is that PUBG Corp, or Corporation, they're actually suing a copycat mobile game publisher.
A Chinese publisher named NetEaseover.
Yes. Now they made
suing the Chinese company, but they're not suing.
Suing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suing Fortnite.
Apparently, the reason why is because Fortnite has too many differences for them to actually sue.
Yeah, PUBG's the first person, Fortnite is third person.
Yes. And there's other differences. You know, it's not using the same maps and things like that. Apparently, NetEase are infringing on certain things. Like it seems like a copy and cut sort of thing that's going on there. But the problem is that PUBG are kind of also saying, you know, like lobbies and stuff like that. So they're kind of stretching it a bit too far. You know, they're stretching overall. I think they really want to get
a Chinese company never works. I mean, BMW tried that when they copied one of their cars. The problem is China is not under international law, which means you're suing a Chinese company, a communist country, and the adjudicator is the Chinese government. So, yeah. They're going to lose.
I mean, look, the thing is, on some of these things, they, like on the copy and paste map type stuff, I can see there that there's a copyright infringement, you know? But on things like putting a lobby in an online game, really, PUBG? Really? I really don't understand where they're trying to go with this. It's like they're doing the shotgun approach, you know? Shoot as many bullets as you can and see what sticks.
Throw as many shits against the wall, see what stays.
Yes, exactly. So, I don't know. I'm pretty sure
Sorry about your wall.
I'm pretty sure they're going to lose this case. I don't see PUBG winning this. Like, you can't... It's a game mode, PUBG. Get your head out of your ass. It's a game mode that you have created.
Go back to making your different colored pants. That
exactly.
You
can't sue everybody that makes the same game mode that you do. Okay, because if they did, imagine the game that first created, team deathmatch. You know, imagine if they started suing everybody. Because every game has team deathmatch these days.
Yeah, COD might as well be trying to sue Battlefield.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. Like
now, I'm not sure who would win that, but I do.
The worst part is that the PUBG.
That's a good segue.
PUBG has so many players, but they're just like, no, I'm going to sue everybody. But all right, moving on to our next one. Margin, would you like to bring us into this one?
Okay. Now brace yourselves. No, I'm not kidding. Brace yourselves. Seriously,
this is
guys.
Bullshit.
Brace yourselves. Okay. BioWare's Aaron Flynn has gone on record to give us a very long-winded speech trying to talk about the good side of EA. God, where's your bleach?
You know we had to talk about this one.
I had to. Where's your bleach?
There's no avoiding this.
Yeah, there's no avoiding this. So, Aaron, he's saying that when EA acquired BioWare, that he got put into an environment where he got to express himself with other like-minded people who were doing the same thing as him, you know, and that EA kept BioWare from going under, you know.
No,
that's a different story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, that's a
Yeah,
different story.
yeah.
We're
Hey,
gonna get into
guys, anyone smell that? Oh God, there's some bullshit in
Yes.
here.
I mean, the thing is,
it's
Aaron
bad.
Flynn is working for EA. EA, he can't badmouth EA when he works for them. You know, like obviously, this smells like EA, like
push it
control right now. They're damage controlling the shit right now.
Besides, what a crock of shit. Saying, EA would have closed if... sorry. Oh, no. Sorry.
Oh, you're still talking about the second article.
Fantasy. Yeah. No, that's it.
Yeah, well, this is the second
He talks about he references the Dead Poets Society.
He compares it.
Yeah, it's, I told you to suck on the marrow of life, not choke on the bone. I didn't want to, cast dispersions on your metaphor, but the teacher got fired. at the end of that movie.
Yeah, the thing is,
and the kid dies. So that's a very bad reference to make.
it really makes no sense what EA are actually, well, not what EA, but what Aaron Flynn is saying here. It reeks of damage control. That's what it reeks.
It reeks of an EA email saying, "Yo, Aaron, you're busy today? Well, actually, I have to code in this. Excellent. Can you write an article about how awesome we are?"
Yeah.
No.
I would prefer not to.
But that's not the last EA news we have.
Yes, so
I promised
our next-
my priest I wouldn't lie that much
Okay, but
anymore.
before we go on to the Bioware closing down one, I just would like to point out one of the news that also has come out recently is that Patrick Soderlund talked recently about how EA were making Battlefront 2, and they weren't trying to make a slot machine in this game. They weren't trying to make it so predatory.
Oh,
et
sweet
cetera, et
Jesus,
cetera.
the pun!
Yeah, like
this
wow, like
Wow.
really,
What
really.
a pile
So what
of
you're saying is that
steaming
when
shit.
you guys made this game, and the people who you hired to play through the game, for testing bugs and stuff, while they were playing the game, you probably just ignored, like, this game is too grindy. This
When the game was in beta, how many people said, "Oh my god, this is this is progression-based loot boxes. You need to take this out." And only when everybody shouted, "EA! This is progression-based, fuck off!" did they go, "Oh shit, somebody seems to be angry."
Yes. No shit, right? No fucking shit.
Because
This is
EA's
ridiculous.
that husband where the wife told him like 50,000 times, "Can you please help me with the kids? I've got too much stuff to do. Or can you take the trash out or something?" And then when she finally loses her shit at him, he goes, "Oh, jeez, babe, what's wrong? You never mentioned this before."
Okay.
But I don't believe this for a second. There's no way EA actually doesn't know why people were angry at them. Just like Warner Brothers is faking that they don't know why people were so angry at them.
Yes, it's so stupid. Like this, but all of this is just it just stinks. It stinks of
Yeah.
damage control. Like EA, just stop. We hate you. It's not gonna change. We fucking
Yeah.
hate you.
Writing these
Stop.
articles are not going to make us forgive you. You know what will make us forgive you? Wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh my god.
Make a good game.
I hate when you do that. It's like, pause. Like, podcasts are long enough already and you get add pauses. Like, no. Stop. We're moving on to the next article.
All right. Yeah, Urbia, please move into our next article, please.
So, BioWare claims the studio would have been closed without EA acquisition. So, they did this at a LGBTQ-centric gaming convention at a Dragon Age panel, which is pretty interesting. Like, I didn't know there's LGBTQ gaming conventions. That's pretty specific.
I didn't
Like
know
what?
that
Like
either.
2 people showed up or something? Like,
Oh, dude, don't underestimate that. For them to actually have a convention, there must be a lot of people. There must be a lot of people.
but yeah, he was talking about like how initially they could only release Mass Effect on Xbox 360, but despite the acquisition, they rarely, it said rarely push for anything specific or tells BioWare what not to do. So it says hands-off approach, which I don't believe they do a hands-off approach
the thing is, they
anymore.
say that EA gave them a hands-off approach, which is bullshit, because
Yeah.
when Mass Effect, remember, Mass Effect Andromeda, Dragon Age Inquisition, Mass Effect 3, remember all the microtransactions in the multiplayer there? It's such a crock of shit.
The Mass Effect team was gutted by EA and moved to Anthem. That's resulting in a B team doing
Yes,
Mass
how
Effect,
the
which is
hell-
why the game was broken.
How the hell is that freedom? That's not freedom.
Yeah.
It's all just damage control. It's unbelievable that EA is spouting this nonsense, trying to make them seem like, oh yeah, look what we did.
And
because it was like, according to their budget, they could add stuff like in-game romantic routes with like more voice acting, writing, animation, all that.
And besides, I have a retort to this. He says, BioWare would have closed their doors if EA didn't buy them. Yeah, that doesn't mean BioWare didn't die when EA didn't buy them. Yes, BioWare as a name is still open. I think we can all agree BioWare died years ago. The people who founded BioWare left.
They say over here
to write novels
that they made Mass Effect 1, and then while they were making Dragon Age Origins, they ran out of money. And then they said that they were saved by EA. Look, many developers have been in this situation. They could have gone to the bank, they could have gotten more money, they could have finished it. Dragon Age Origins was a spectacular success, you know? So, EA didn't save shit. EA is just damage controlling the shit. Now, they're trying to paint themselves in this massively awesome picture. It's like, oh, look at the good stuff we did. Look at the good stuff we did.
Well, is this really new? Like,
it's not really new. The thing is, BioWare is dead now. They say EA saved it, but BioWare is not BioWare anymore. BioWare is dead.
Who are they pandering to, by the way? Are they pandering to... Okay, there are two types of gamers, as it turns out. Casual gamers and hardcore gamers. Now, the casual gamers...
Oh, yeah, but no, those aren't gamers. Those aren't gamers.
Okay, let me put forward this argument. Casual gamers don't hate EA. They're happy with their FIFAs and what's that football game called? PES. They're happy with these games, and
you mean American football? Yeah, sorry.
American football.
Yeah. they're perfectly fine with these games. The casual gamer doesn't give a shit, which means the people who hate them are the more hardcore gamers who read up on this shit. Who do they think they're pandering to? How long did it take us to dissect this story for its bullshit? 4 seconds?
Yes. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious. EA, just fuck off. Just stop.
You're not going to convince the people who hate you. And the people who don't hate you are the people who don't know what you're doing.
Exactly. So, please, just stop. We're not idiots. You're treating us like idiots. You're doing what Rian Johnson is doing to the Star Wars
and we all know what we did to him.
Yes, just stop.
All right. Our next we fantasize about doing to him.
Our next news article. Okay, so the Far Cry 5 producer is going to be leading the new Ubisoft studio in Winnipeg. Okay, this is latest news. This comes off after the opening of studios in Mumbai, India, and Odesa in Ukraine.
Yeah, so this is the third studio in the past few weeks.
Yes, and what this studio is going to basically do, it wants to hire about 100 people to helm the studio, and they're going to be focusing on open world development, essentially. They're going to create tools that'll help in open world development. They'll do research and things like that, so that it will make open worlds easier to create and more fleshed out.
And they'll be working with other Canadian studios as well.
Yes, exactly.
So that's interesting.
Ubisoft is branching out kind of quickly.
Yes,
you think they're trying to... You think they smell blood on the EA side of the fence and going, now! Go now!
You know what?
They're taking a lot of, their future projects.
The thing is, guys,
the success of Far Cry 5.
Out of Activision, EA, and Ubisoft is by far the best one.
Yeah, it is.
Which is kind of like saying I have the least damaging STD, but it's. Yeah,
herpes ain't too bad. It's like having pimples
on your wang.
On that note.
Yes.
On that note, Niantic to pay out $1.6 million for the Pokemon Go Fest Balls Up.
Yes.
Why do they
This
say balls up at the end?
story-
Well, because remember Pokeballs.
Oh, I see.
By the way, this story is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
to
so
me.
last year there was a Pokemon Go Fest, okay? And people who came to the fest thinking, oh, okay, great, we're going to have a Pokemon Go Fest, it's going to be awesome, we're going to all log online, it's going to be great. They were met with, not being able to log in, the servers
Crashes.
the servers were
failures.
crashing, the mobile network was not working properly because it was just too many people in the same area, and it was a complete balls.
Yeah, some people booked hotels to go to this festival.
Yes, some people flew from, I actually saw this in an article, people flew from Japan to America
Imagine that.
just for this fest, and they bought tickets and hotel bookings and everything, and they ended up in complete disappointment. So,
And
what
guess how
happened-
much you can claim in expenses.
Yes, $107 in expenses. But remember, there was a
Yeah.
class action lawsuit by disgruntled players, obviously,
Yeah.
that ended up of the tune of about $1,575,000. Attendees can claim up to $107 of expenses, or more if they have receipts for travel or hotel booking.
So that means you don't even need to stay anywhere. You just have to prove you traveled through Chicago then. Interesting. Get a buck and a 10 sevens? 10
Oh,
sevens?
well, that's what it seems. But remember, I'm assuming you also have to have the tickets as well in order to claim. I don't think that they'd be that stupid that you just could go to Chicago and be like, oh,
You
okay,
could get a
cool,
profit, like, get a cheap bus and say, oh, I went.
I guess. But okay, and also, whoever doesn't, whatever money is not, claimed, is going to be sent to two charities: the Illinois Bar Foundation, which sounds kind of like a foundation for people who own bars, which is kind of strange, and the non-profit organization Chicago Run, which again, I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
That's probably like all those, runs for charities.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So we're not going to address the fact that there's nothing sadder in the world than a Pokemon Go festival?
So yeah, basically, it's kind of strange.
It's the other thing sadder than playing a Warhammer game, on tabletop anymore. It's Pokemon Go. It's Pokemon Go. How is this still a thing?
I mean, but the thing is, only recently did that class action lawsuit net $1,575,000. So, look, for anybody who was at that fest, good on you. Claim back that money. Get your monies back because you deserve
Get your
it.
107.
Yeah.
Get your 107. Get your 107 or more.
Yeah, and then buy a different game. I beg you.
Yes.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Well, remember,
A fest-
Pokemon Go is free to play, so just play a different game on your phone. Come on.
Yeah, it's
But all right, that brings us to the end of our gaming news. I would like to apologize sincerely for my dogs. They have been very unruly. So for all barking and scratches and things like that you've heard during the podcast,
Make sure
I
you
really
give him a
apologize.
good whipping. Good whipping.
No, I'm not going to do that to my dogs. But yeah, I really sincerely apologize. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this gaming news podcast, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you for all the support and listening to three grown-ass men complaining. We hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and please consider supporting us on Patreon. If you want to receive updates on our channel, as well as when we release our videos, please join us on Facebook and Twitter. Enjoy, and see you all next time.